it's great to have a relationship that isn't about falling in love. I mean, it's about two people looking out for each other equally and changing each other, having such a profound effect on each other's lives.
Now, right off the bat, can you tell us a little bit about your character, the Reverend, kind of?
The Reverend-ish, if you will.
Yes.
So Mac/Paulo is we meet him as a criminal negotiator in Chicago. He's a negotiator for the mobs of Chicago, and he gets into a wee little bit of trouble and has to go on the run, and ends up on the other side of the planet in a tiny little beach town in far north Queensland called Clump, which is appropriately named, I think. Yes. He's the type of guy who is, I think the best way to put it is that he is all the things he needs to be to anybody he meets, whatever the situation.
A reverend, perchance.
Yes, slightly.
Yeah. Well, and so what was it that drew you to this character and of his story?
I think there were a lot of things. I mean, personally for me, the fact that I get to do with Mac everything that I've always wanted to do. There's so much humor and so much fun stuff that he gets to do. But there's also at the core of our show a ton of heart and a lot of growth for Mac over the course of this entire first season that, it was really taking a character from point A to point B through all the twists and turns that he encounters over the course of the episodes. Where he ends up is so completely wildly different from where he began. Seeing that in the first couple of scripts that I was able to read, I was desperate to want to play it. And, I feel very lucky that they brought me on, and I had such a great time with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was my first thought upon seeing the first couple episodes was, this is really walking the line between a bunch of different genres. It felt very unique and quirky in tone. Tell me about making something like that really does feel like something we haven't seen very much of before.
Yeah, I think so much credit is due to Patty McRae, our creator of the show. He really created this dichotomy within his scripts of, absurdist comedy, and at the same time grounding it in real relationships, real trouble. And there is so much heart at the core of our show, and the relationships are so important, and they're so, well developed over the course of the episodes. And it's also credit due to our two directors, Jonathan Teplitsky and Lucy Gaffey, that they really wanted to push the envelope on all aspects of that. The comedy was funny, and we really tried to push it as far as we could go. And they also allowed us the space to really live in those more tender moments of the series. Speaking specifically, like being able to, that relationship between Mac and Daisy was one of the great joys of filming this. I think Tegan Stimson, who plays Daisy, is such a wonderful actor and such a beautiful human being that it made me fall so in love with the two characters. And it's great to have a relationship that isn't about falling in love. I mean, it's about two people looking out for each other equally and changing each other, having such a profound effect on each other's lives, sort of against their will.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say the rest of the cast is so perfectly cast. I feel like the characters really mesh well together. What was that dynamic like on set? How was it working with the rest of the cast?
I mean, it was just incredible. I mean, we got so lucky, and I feel so privileged to have been able to work with all of these people: Kylie Bracknell, Wayne Blair, Annalise Phillips, Tegan Stimson, Ed Oxenbould, PJ Byrne. I mean, come on. It's like, it was a murderer's row of not only comedy, but just genuinely good people. And, when we started shooting, we were in a very tiny little beach town in far north Queensland, which played its own character. I mean, we were all together in this beautiful location, living down the street from each other and getting together. And it was almost like this little beautiful summer camp of shooting a television show. And we'd wake up in the morning and get to watch the sunrise from our set, which was the set of the church or the manse that was literally steps from the beach. And, you know, we're seeing the Pacific Ocean and the sun come up over the island that's out in the middle of it. And I mean, so it was hard to be not affected by it. And we really knew that I think we all knew that we were doing something that was fun and really special. And we really had a great time filming. I mean, there was no strife. It was kind of a love fest, honestly.
Well, you can definitely tell. I mean, the show is so fun. It's so unique. I can't wait for everyone to see it. And I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me about it.